Hello, my second and third grade friends. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a wind instrument, and I'm also going to show you some examples of other types of instruments you can make using objects that you find in your house if you don't want to make a wind instrument. So what I'm going to be showing you how to make today is a pan flute. And basically this is just straws that are taped together with tape. You can use whatever kind of tape you want. If you don't have tape, you can use other materials. Be creative. You can use anything you want to stick these together. These are just straws that are cut diagonally and they're at different lengths. They make a different pitch depending on the length of the straw. So this is an instrument that really works. And if you don't have a straw, you can roll up paper and do it that way. There's many different ways to do things. You might not have all the materials that I have here or whatever I'm using here, but I want you to be creative and use the materials that you have in your house. Art sometimes is using what you have and using what you can find. So as an artist, I want you to also be an explorer, and I want you to explore your home and see what you can find. Ask a parent, ask a sibling if they can help you find anything. Ask permission before just taking things. And yeah, so we're gonna have some fun today. So aside from making a pan flute, you have many other options that you can make. You can make a kazoo or some type of a horn. This is just a roll of cling wrap, but ooh, hello. It changes your voice and you can make different sounds with it. Another way that you can make a different sound is if you put something over it. So I'm actually gonna just put some wax paper over it. You can find this in most kitchens, okay? You can put other materials over it too. Try tin foil, try regular paper, see what happens. It's a kazoo now. Okay, I'm having too much fun now. Okay, so that's a kazoo. So try out the noises, see what happens. If you don't want to make a wind instrument today, try making a rain stick. I showed this to my kindergartners and first graders. This has little bits of rice in it. I used saran wrap at the tips, rubber bands, and I decorated it with a pattern. You can make other percussion instruments too. Tape 2 paper plates together, decorate the outside. I put some popcorn kernels in here. There's so many different food items that you just could take a little scoop of, like dried rice, dried beans, unpopped popcorn. You can make all sorts of different noises, all sorts of different types of music, drums. But today I'm going to show you how to make this pan flute because this was the instrument that I was most interested in and decided to design today. If you want to get really advanced, you can make what my 4th and 5th graders are making is the cereal box guitars. These ones don't quite make music. They're more for decorative and kind of learning the properties and the parts of a guitar. Some of them you can make music with, but today we're going to be focusing on the wind instrument. So what I did was I started with a drawing, okay? So I drew a pan flute, and I also drew, this represents the piece of tape that I'm going to decorate with my specific pattern of lines. You can do whatever you want, remember. You might not have tape. You might be thinking of a completely different material to use. I want you to make it your own. So, and remember, this is just my drawing. You might be drawing a completely different instrument. It might be a completely made up instrument, and that's fine. Okay, this is just an example. All right, my friends. So what I did, I already have these cut, but what you will do if you're making this instrument and if you're using straws or paper, you're going to be cutting them at a diagonal angle. So first things first, what I did was I lined up all of my straws that I had, and they were all, of course, the same length, but then I cut them and arranged them so they were going tallest to shortest. So I cut them each at varying lengths, okay? If you have rolled up paper when you're doing this, you just want to be careful that you don't squish the paper. Maybe you want to try and find a heavier piece of paper, but regular paper will work just fine. And when I cut them at a diagonal angle. I don't know if that has anything to do with the sound it makes, but For me, it's looks, because this is how a pan flute looks, and it's how I designed my pan flute. So I'm gonna line them up. I'm gonna make sure that they're the way I want them. I also wanna, just because I want them to look this way, I wanna make sure that they're facing the same way. And then it doesn't have to be perfect. Once it's ready, I'm gonna take my tape. You're gonna take whatever it is that you have that you're deciding to use. It could be anything. Remember, you can use any found object. And I'm just gonna show you, when you put the tape on, you wanna be really careful that nothing moves around, especially if you're making your pieces out of paper. You wanna be really, really gentle that the paper doesn't get smushed. But then they'll all stick on like this. And then you're just gonna kind of gently, you can turn it over. You might have different ways of doing this. I'm gonna add a few layers of tape. Like that. I want to give myself some more room to make a cool pattern on there, like what I designed. And I'm going to do 1 or 2 more layers because it's still a little clear there, and I want it to be a thicker layer so nothing shows through. You can also make your pattern on the actual flute part. I'm choosing to make mine on the tape part. All right, I'm gonna do one more piece, then we'll get going. All right, so as you know, I have a Sharpie, but you can use a pencil, you can use a pen, you can use crayons, paint, markers, whatever materials you have, okay? You don't have to use a Sharpie just because I'm using one. In my drawing, in my design, it was kind of a wavy line, and I'm gonna do that again. And if you're using tape, it might make it a little bit hard with the lines to kind of get a straight pattern, but you know what? Just go with it. It's gonna come out looking cool no matter what. Just adding some extra lines in here. All right, I think that looks pretty good. And here's your flute. It's really simple. All right, everybody, I just wanted to show you my finished pan flute. I'm really proud of it, and watch. So cool, right? I cannot wait to see what types of instruments you make at home. Please feel free to send them to me. I'm gonna give my info on the template. I'm so excited to see what you make. And I just want to say, keep making art, stay safe, and have fun, and bye. I'll see you soon.